After meeting a mermaid as a child, a man reunites with his childhood love, but scientists wanting to uncover her secrets puts them in danger. 8-year-old Alan Bauer is on a boat tour with his family in Cape Cod. As his brother, Freddie, is busy peeking under the women's skirts, Alan simply stares at the ocean. Just then, he sees something interesting in the water, which causes him to jump overboard. His family panics, but Alan sees a girl smiling before him under the water. The two hold hands, but a man suddenly yanks Alan to the surface, rescuing him. As the boat sails away with him safely on board, the girl sadly stares from a distance. She dives back into the water and reveals her little tail. 20 years later, Alan works in a wholesale fruits and vegetables business in New York. One of his customers, Mr. McCullough, demands cherries, which Alan discovers are too damaged to sell. It turns out that Freddie is to blame for this negligence. Just then, Freddie arrives, proudly announcing that he has an article published in a famous magazine. Although Alan wants to reprimand his brother for his negligence, he can't help but let it pass. With this, he trades the cherries for bananas at a low price to please Mr. McCullough. Later, the brothers head to their office, where Freddie tells Alan that he earned them a new business deal with an investor who used to be a colonel. However, Freddie had to lie about Alan being a soldier to secure the deal. He then adds that the colonel is on his way to the warehouse, which is in absolute chaos. This annoys Alan, as he's also occupied with work and his friend's wedding. As Alan panics, he receives a call from Victoria, his girlfriend, who's now breaking up with him because she doesn't feel like he loves her. The following day at the wedding, everyone asks Alan where Victoria is, which annoys him. He wonders why he didn't love Victoria when she was perfect, so he thinks there's something wrong with him. That night, he drowns himself in alcohol, then goes on a monologue about wanting love and starting a family. But he'll probably die alone with only a bunch of fruit mourning him. Wanting to escape his dilemma, Alan tells Freddie that he's going to Cape Cod to take a break. Although Freddie wants to take him to Rio, he lets his brother be. Shortly after, Alan takes a cab to Cape Cod but gets dropped off at the wrong side of the beach by morning. He sees 3 men by the coast, so he asks if they can take him to the other side of the island. Walter Kornbluth, a scientist, refuses as he thinks that Alan is a spy sent by his competitors. Claude, one of Kornbluth's assistants, tells Alan that a boatman lives close by, so he should ask him to take him to the other side of the island. Later, Alan and the boatman head off to sea, but the boat's engine soon gets busted. The boatman then jumps overboard and says he'll head back to the docks to get a spare boat. Alan, who doesn't know how to swim, is left with no choice but to wait. While on his boat, Kornbluth gets infuriated while he spies on Alan, thinking that he's following him. Because of this, he prepares his diving gear to confront him. Meanwhile, Alan tries hitting the engine, and when he tries to turn it on, the boat powers on by itself and knocks him overboard. As he struggles to keep himself afloat, the rogue boat heads toward him and hits him in the head. He then sinks to the ocean floor, and his wallet falls out of his pocket. Fortunately, someone drags Alan to the beach, and when he wakes up, his savior is nowhere to be found. Just then, he notices a beautiful woman observing him behind the bushes. She approaches Alan, and he's shocked to see her without clothes. She then kisses him before diving back into the water, leaving Alan clueless and hung up on who she could be. Unbeknownst to him, the woman is a mermaid. After this, the mermaid retrieves Alan's wallet but runs into Kornbluth. Kornbluth tries taking a picture of her, but she swiftly swims away before he can do so. Later, she heads to a sunken ship, which also happens to be her home. There, she looks at the address in Alan's wallet and discovers that he's from New York. The following day, Alan returns to New York with an injury on his head. Mrs. Stimler, their secretary, who's a little forgetful after being hit with lightning, asks what happened to him. Alan simply replies that he got hit by a boat. Meanwhile, the mermaid swims to New York, where she steps onto Liberty Island without clothes. The people are appalled by this sight, so the police intervene. Later, the police give her some clothes and wonder where to take her. She doesn't speak English, so she merely shows them the wallet with Alan's info. At the warehouse, the colonel visits Freddie and Alan about their partnership deal. However, Alan receives a call from the station, so he quickly gets into his car and drives as fast as possible. Seeing this, Freddie lies to the colonel that this is Alan's trauma response from his supposed experience in Vietnam. When Alan gets to the station, he's awestruck when he sees the woman again. She then kisses him, which leads the police to trust that they know each other. The two can't help but be physically affectionate to each other, and they end up kissing wherever they go. Later, Alan takes the mermaid to his pad, where he gets her some food before returning to work. When he returns to the warehouse, Freddy gets confused as to why his brother is suddenly bursting with energy. Meanwhile, the mermaid sees an advertisement for Bloomingdale's. She says this word to the doorman later, so he calls her a cab that takes her there. Clad only in Alan's baggy suit, the mermaid makes her way through a crowd of busy women. With the help of a personal shopper, she ends up buying clothes using Alan's money. As she walks around, she gets hyperfixated on the TVs. That night, Alan goes home and realizes that the mermaid is gone. When he learns from the doorman that she went to Bloomingdale, he immediately hops in a cab and heads there. Finally, he finds her by the TVs. The store clerk asks if Alan knows her, and he says yes, but he tells him not to ask her name. He adds that she doesn't know English, but the mermaid suddenly speaks in English as she learned the language from the TV. Alan tries asking for her name, but she's unable to say it in English. He still asks her to say it anyway, but it's too ear-splitting that she ends up breaking the TV. As the two head home, the mermaid is eager to explore the city with her new knowledge. Alan asks her how long she'll be staying in New York, and she replies 6 fun-filled days, because if she stays longer than that, she won't be able to go back. Then, Alan asks her to select an English name, and she chooses to call herself Madison, based on the street sign she just saw. After this, he asks if she'd like to stay with him, and Madison tells him yes, since he's the reason she went there. That night, as Alan sleeps, Madison secretly takes some salt and heads to the bathroom. There, she fills the tub with salt and goes on a dip. As she relaxes with her tail popped out, Alan realizes that she's gone. Suspicious, he asks if she's alright, and if he can come into the bathroom. Madison panics and falls on the floor, and the loud thud makes Alan worry. She quickly tries to dry herself while Alan knocks on the door. When he finally gets inside, Madison has already dried out her tail. The next day, Kornbluth reads the morning newspaper and finds Madison featured on the front page as the woman in Liberty Island. Recognizing her, he immediately tells Claude and his brother, Junior, to take him back to shore. Meanwhile, Alan gives Madison a music figurine as a gift. Then later that night, they go on a stroll in the city. As they pass by a mermaid fountain, Alan shares that he almost drowned when he was 8 and thought he saw a mermaid. Madison says she knows, but then she takes it back and says that she meant she understands. Before they head home, Alan informs her that the park will be torn down, along with the mermaid fountain. The following day, Freddy tells Alan that he scored them a dinner party with the President of the United States. Alan then asks if he could go with Madison instead of him, so Freddy teases his brother as he once said that he'd never fall in love. Later, the brothers play squash and Alan keeps denying that he's head over heels for Madison. He thinks she's suspicious because of how quickly she learned English, and on top of that, she strolled around bare and took a bath in the middle of the night. However, Freddy reassures him that he's gone through crazier relationships, and that Alan's just in denial. Elsewhere, Kornbluth gathers a bunch of scientists and informs them about his big breakthrough. However, they get infuriated when they learn that he's talking about the existence of mermaids. Meanwhile, Madison surprises Alan with a gift, and to his surprise, she's had the mermaid fountain delivered to his bedroom. He wonders how she afforded something so grand, and it turns out that she traded her necklace for it. Alan asks why she would do that, and Madison replies that it's because she loves him. He replies that he loves her too, and they kiss. Elsewhere, Kornbluth's professor, Dr. Zidell, expresses his disappointment. Offended, Kornbluth gets determined to prove that his claims are true. Right away, he looks for Madison and finds her strolling the city with Alan. He follows them around with buckets of water, then drenches them. However, he splashes the wrong people and gets beaten for it. That night, Alan and Madison go to a fancy restaurant for dinner. There, Alan tells her that there are ways for her to stay in New York, like getting a work visa or marrying him. Madison evades the topic and reasons that they should eat first. Madison starts devouring the lobster to distract Alan from opening the conversation again. After dinner, the two go ice skating, but Alan opens up the conversation again. This time, he makes it clear that he wants to marry her. To his surprise, Madison simply says no. She refuses to explain and just asks him to make her remaining days in New York wonderful. Begrudgingly, Alan continues ice skating with her, but in the end, he gets angry and raises his voice at her. This hurts her feelings, so she runs away, and Alan is unable to catch up to her. Suddenly, it rains, and Alan roams the city soaking wet, trying to look for Madison. Meanwhile, Madison keeps herself dry under a bridge. The following day, Madison hesitates about returning to the sea. After much thinking, she approaches Alan later and says that she'll marry him. The two happily head back to Alan's place, and he says that they can get married sooner if they process the blood tests needed for her papers. However, Madison says she needs to tell him everything before they do that. Unbeknownst to them, Kornbluth is pretending to be a janitor at Alan's building to get closer to Madison. He waits for them on the 4th floor, and when the elevator opens, he soaks them with water. However, it turns out to be the same people that he drenched on the streets. Because of this, he gets thrown down the stairs. Meanwhile, Alan tells Madison that they can get married in Maryland that night, as they don't need a blood test there. However, he remembers the dinner with the president, so he plans to move the wedding after it. That night, the two head to the president's dinner party. Meanwhile, an injured Kornbluth joins the kitchen staff and secretly brings a power washer. However, his equipment alerts the president's guards, so he gets dragged out of the vicinity. Meanwhile, Madison decides to finally tell Alan her secret, but she asks for them to leave the place. When they go outside, Kornbluth spots her, and he desperately reaches for the hose to get her soaked. This leads to Madison's mermaid tail appearing, and her secret is revealed to everyone in the scene. The press immediately gathers around her with their cameras, but government agents take Madison away to control the crowd. Meanwhile, Alan is too dazed to react. The following day, Alan is forced to partake in an experiment where he's put in a tank for 12 hours. They want to know if he's also like Madison, and to test him further, they put her in the tank with him. Madison tries talking to Alan, but he rejects her, unable to accept what she truly is. After the scientists prove that he's human, they dump Alan in front of his building. The press immediately crowds him, but luckily, Freddy arrives and takes him away. They head to their office, where Alan rants about the irony of falling in love with someone who isn't human. However, Freddy reminds him of how happy he was with Madison, and he asserts that he's supposed to be thankful, as he'll never be as happy as Alan was. The following day, Kornbluth notices that Madison's scales are tearing, and she's growing pale. He asks Dr. Ross, the leader of the research team, about this, but he doesn't care since they're going to dissect Madison. Kornbluth argues that he's being too rash, but Ross only replies that he's never considered him to be a man of science, so he should just run along. As Kornbluth watches Madison in her tank, he finally realizes the consequences of his actions. The next day, Kornbluth goes on a dentist appointment when Alan bursts into the room. He confronts him about Madison, so Kornbluth explains that he only meant to prove to his colleagues that he wasn't crazy and didn't think about how it would affect others. With this, he agrees to help Alan in rescuing Madison. With Freddy, Kornbluth takes them to the lab, introducing them as Swedish scientists. As soon as Alan sees Madison, he immediately kisses her and tells her how much he loves her. Shortly after, Kornbluth and Alan bust out of the lab carrying a covered body. They screamed at the guard that the mermaid killed their colleague with her laser eyes. Before leaving, Kornbluth tells the guard to seal the area because he'll be back with nuclear weapons. The men immediately put the body in the car, which turns out to be Madison. As soon as they drive away, Ross arrives with the real Swedish scientist and discovers Freddy chilling in the tank. Realizing what Kornbluth has done, a bunch of soldiers hunts them down. This leads to an intense car chase down the busy streets of New York. As they continue to drive away, Kornbluth tells the two to let him out of the car so that he can stall the soldiers. Madison gives him a small kiss before leaving, as a sign of gratitude. However, Kornbluth barely does any stalling as the soldiers continue driving down the road without stopping. With no choice, he gets out of the way and ends up falling into a ditch. Meanwhile, Madison and Alan reach the docks, and the two say their goodbyes. Alan says he wishes he could be with her, and Madison realizes that it's possible. She reveals that she was the mermaid Alan saw when he was 8, and that he was safe under the water because they were together. Alan's face lights up, realizing that he can still be with her. He figures that he can just visit Freddy from time to time, but then she breaks it to him that he can't ever return to land. As much as Alan loves her, he can't leave his life behind. Just then, the Coast Guard and the soldiers arrive at the docks, leaving Madison with no choice but to dive into the water. As she swims away, Alan realizes that he's ready to give up everything for her. With this, he jumps into the water and tries catching up to Madison. Not knowing how to swim, Alan sinks, but then Madison arrives to rescue him. Just by kissing him, Alan is able to breathe underwater. The Coast Guard send divers to go after the couple, but together they tamper with their breathing apparatus, which allows them to escape. The two then swim their way to freedom, and Madison takes Alan to her underwater kingdom.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.